What is up, everybody? That car guy Eddie here, and today another video once again on the KRX. Today's video is actually my first initial impressions of a tune. That's right, I've managed to figure out a tune. I've dug through the weeds and the mush and the muck that is tuning when it comes to the KRX. So first of all, I need to just give a blanket statement of what tuning is, okay? So bench tuning is effectively sending your ECU, which is your computer that runs the vehicle, out to one of 3 or 4 popular tuners that are out there. If you've scoured the boards, I guarantee you've seen them. One of them, and probably the most popular and drunkest of them all, is probably V-Force John. The second one that you've probably heard about is the Cops tune, because one day eventually they'll make a turbo for it. And then the third one that you probably haven't heard a whole lot about, because they really don't tune a whole lot of KRX Cowie stuff, is Alba. So effectively what I did is I reached out to all 3 of these tuners and I tried to decipher what the difference was. The problem is when you go on the forums, you get fanboys across the board. You get some people that are like, oh, I love V-Force John, and oh, he's the best because all he does is tune Cowies. But in the same exact sentence, these people will go out and buy Right Coast off-road clutch weights, which John himself tells you don't run the Right Coast off-road clutch weights. So why do you trust the guy for tuning, but he tells you not to get that clutch, and yet you still buy the clutch weights? I don't understand. Anyways, that's a whole different video. This video is all about tuning, and it's an initial reaction on the Alba tune, what I decided with. So the reason I went Alba is because it was kind of in the middle. To save you guys some time, the V-Force John tune is about $200, the complete off-road performance tune is about $400, and the Alba tune is $250. It's on sale right now on the Alba website. And you know, I contacted Nate down there at Alba. I went ahead and sent him my ECU. It took about a week to get done, and that's pretty standard across the board. What I really want to do is, I've seen times on Draggy 0 to 30, and they don't really explain anything. I've seen some really half-hearted YouTube videos where it like shows acceleration and stuff, but everybody talks about comparison, and really that's what it comes down to. When you're talking about the world of off-road sports, there's so many variables that come into play, okay? We're not talking about tenths of a second here. We're talking about what the car does in a real-world situation. What I mean by that is the only way to properly tune it is to get 2 KRXs next to each other and test the tune out. So that's what we've done. Thanks to my brother-in-law, what we've actually done is we've decided to actually get the Cops tune. He's ordered it, should be back at his house within the next day or 2, and next week we're actually gonna have a side-by-side comparison between the Alba tune and the Cops tune. Now, you'll have to thank him a little bit because he has not put the rest of his modifications on the KRX. The reason why is we want to run 2 same-year KRXs with stock versus stock. All we do is swap out the ECU because we want to get you guys the truth and kind of how it really actually works. We're going to put them side by side. We're going to run them next to each other. We're going to put them on a time track. We're going to swap drivers. We're going to run the track in reverse. Everything we do to get you guys like real, actual, factual stuff. That way you guys can get a good tune. But what we're going to do is we're going to walk this way a little bit, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my initial reactions regarding the Alba tune. So here's the deal. All of the tuners have told me the same thing. Eddie, there's not a whole lot that you could adjust within the KRX itself. You could adjust timing and RPMs and everything like that, but what you're really doing is you're adjusting the throttle input, okay? So effectively what happens is it's something called exponential ramp in the community of tuning, and what happens is the faster you go, the less input you get from your throttle. Like for instance, if you're at 0 miles per hour and you give your car full throttle, you'll get 100% throttle. If you're at 30 miles an hour and you give your car full throttle, you put the pedal all the way to the ground, you'll get 60% throttle. And this is something that's really popular in the car community that a lot of us who have tuned cars and have done stuff with cars for a very long time is very, very well aware of. And part of that is due to emission standards, part of that is to make the machine last a little bit longer. But the majority of it is really for emissions more than anything. So the tune gets rid of that. It gives you 100% throttle no matter where you are. So if you put it to the ground, you're gonna feel it to the ground, whether you're at the top of the RPM band or the lower side of the RPM band. From my butt dyno, everyone tells me the first tune you should do on a KRX, or the first mod you should do on a KRX is a tune, and I agree 110%. The reason why is because it gives you the power right now. Right now, right now, right now. Don't do the bell, don't do the clutch weights, don't do any of that stuff. Do a tune first, ride it, and see if you like it. It is faster, at least with the Bud dyno. It's faster from probably 5 to 40 miles an hour. That is really where I feel it. On the top end, I do feel like the RPMs did get a little bit higher. We were running it out on a racetrack we have, where we're able to get it really up to top speed, and the car itself was revving higher than it should. But that's all for next weekend's video. So, camera guy, that's right, he's the one back there that's actually gonna be doing the cops tune. Next week, we're actually gonna go ahead and bring these out. We're gonna test them. Like I said, we're gonna put them on the track. We're gonna put them next to each other. But as far as tunes, my initial gut reaction is your tune worth it? Hell yeah, the tune is worth it. Hands down. It idles better. It just does everything a little bit better than stock. It helps build the platform for probably what it should be. So if you're thinking about it, don't hesitate. Send it off to one of the tuners. Really, honestly, it's gonna be up to you however you wanna do it. Like I said, I chose Alba just because it was smack dab in the middle. A lot of guys go with V-Force John, but you're gonna get some really cool things out of it. One more cool thing that you're gonna get that's actually across the board with all tuners nowadays is full power reverse. I'm gonna tell you, word of caution with full power reverse, okay? It's a different gearing when you're in reverse already, and full power reverse is a little extreme. So if you mud bogging guys, I'm sure you can use that. Anyways, make sure you subscribe to this video because I'm gonna be doing some really cool things moving forward. I'm gonna talk about the most cost-efficient windshield, tinted half windshield, and the most cost-efficient aluminum roof. It's interesting because some guys are out there are spending $350 on an aluminum roof, and they're like, oh, by the time you powder coat it and materials, it's gonna cost that much. This aluminum roof was 200 bucks, okay? So stay tuned, I'm gonna do a full review on that. I hope you have a great day and go ride hard.